Hi, I'm Daniel Andrews, owner and creator of the DAN Show, and welcome to my latest 2021 NFL mock draft video. Today, I'm going to break down the Green Bay Packers and what they're going to do with the 29th pick in the 2021 NFL Draft. Now, if you're new here and you like football, you're in the right place. Welcome home. Go ahead, hit that subscribe button and ring the bell. That way you're notified every time I release a new video. If you've been here before, you already know the drill. Drop a comment below, give me a thumbs up, and let me know in that comment who you think the Packers are going to take with the 29th pick in the 2021 NFL Draft. Now that I got that over with, let's break down the pack. Since Matt LaFleur has taken over as a head coach of the Green Bay Packers, they've been to the NFC Championship game twice, winning 26 games the last two seasons. Now this offseason, they went ahead and let go Mike Pettin as defensive coordinator, and they brought in Joe Barry. Now, Joe Barry and Matt LaFleur worked together with the Rams, so they have a good feel for each other, where Pettin was a holdover from the previous regime. Because of this, I can see Green Bay attacking the defensive side of the ball with the draft. The one glaring weakness, keep in mind they were a pretty average defense. They weren't really bad. They weren't really great, but they do have some really good players. But they do have a glaring weakness at the inside linebacker position. So if you do use this draft pick for a middle linebacker, Nick Bolton's a perfect fit. And the great thing about Nick Bolton is I actually think he could be a day one starter, a plug-and-play guy at inside linebacker. Now, if you wanted to, you may want to go ahead and ease him into the defense gradually. I wouldn't have a problem with that. You can use him on sub packages. This is a 3-down linebacker, so you could ease him in and sub packages. But I think that he does have the ability to be a day one starter and an upgrade for the inside linebacker position. Jamin Davis is another guy I keep seeing rising in mock drafts, showing up somewhere around here. Now, Nick Bolton's been pretty steady being a late first, early second round player. Jamin Davis was on draft boards around third round, maybe late second, had a great pro day, so now you're seeing him late in the first round. This is a guy I don't see as a day one starter. I actually think Jamin Davis would be a guy who would come in on sub packages, and he may start later in the season, but I don't think he'd be ready right now. What you'd have to ask yourself if you're the Packers and you decide to use one of these draft picks on an inside linebacker is, I think Davis does have more athleticism and upside. Bolton would be more ready to play today, right now. Personally, if you go with either one of these, I think you'd go with Bolton. One thing I do want to point out is that they have multiple picks. They actually have 2 picks in rounds 4, 5, and 6. What you might want to do is, because I don't have either one of these players as the draft pick for the Packers, you can use your extra draft capital, trade up in the second round. You may be able to get Davis somewhere either in the late 30s or early 40s. That's a possibility, because even though I do think Green Bay uses a draft pick on an inside linebacker, I don't have it as the pick here at 29. Green Bay did have the number one scoring offense in the NFL last year. You also have NFL MVP Aaron Rodgers on the team. That said, I still think that they use this draft pick for offense. And a player I'm kind of eyeballing here is Pat Freiermuth. I'm butchering the last name, I apologize. He's the tight end out of Penn State. Now, I understand that Robert Tonyan is not a household name, but maybe he should be. He was Green Bay's leading receiver, or second leading receiver last year. He had 52 receptions for 586 yards and 11 touchdowns. He's Green Bay's starting tight end, and he came out of nowhere to have a really good season. And I also know that they used a third-round draft pick on Joshua DeGarda in the third round last year, but he had one catch. This is where Freiermuth is supposed to go. Universally, he's considered the second best tight end in the draft, and late first round is really where he should go. If you add Freiermuth here, you get an upgrade in athleticism, and you get an all-around really good tight end. So I do like this pick. I'm fully aware that you still have Marcedes Lewis on this team, but he'll be 37 when the season starts. So if you add a player like Freiermuth here, you get an upgrade in athleticism. And even though he probably wouldn't start, he would contribute slowly but surely, and he could potentially be your starter in 2022. Now, I think the Packers are looking to jump beyond the NFC Championship game, so they need a player to add a little more of a spark. So, with the 29th pick in the 2021 NFL Draft, the Green Bay Packers select Kadarius Toney, wide receiver out of Florida. If you're a big Packers fan or a longtime Packers fan, you're probably saying, come on, Dan. The Packers don't like drafting wide receivers in the first round, and you're right. They've only drafted one wide receiver in the first round since taking Sterling Sharp with the first pick in the 1988 NFL Draft. As a matter of fact, that player was Javon Walker in 2002. So if you're doing your math here, that's one wide receiver in the first round in the past 32 years. Yes, the Packers don't like taking wide receivers in the first round, but Kadarius Toney's a different type of a beast here. Now, here's the thing. This regime is breaking rules, all right? They're doing things that the Packers organization has not done before. They dabbled in free agency. They spent $100 million in pass rushers. How'd that work out? They went from a 6-10 team to an NFC championship game. What'd they do last year? They did something that teams that win NFC championship games do. Actually, they didn't win. They just go to NFC championship games. They drafted a quarterback. They specifically traded up for Jordan Love. So since they're bucking the trend of what they used to do, why not continue to keep bucking the trend and take a wide receiver in round one? Now, he is not your typical wide receiver. This is a guy that they're going to use on bubble screens. They're going to use on end arounds. He's immediately going to help your special teams unit. As far as returns go, this was one of the worst return units in the National Football League. They 4.8 yards a punt return, 18.9 yards a kickoff return. Kadarius Toney instantly improves that. He adds an additional boost on special teams, and he's a completely different type of player than Davante Adams. He's not your big, tall, downfield threat. This is a guy that you want to get in open space. This is a guy that, like I said before, bubble screens, end arounds. He's kind of built like a running back, and Green Bay will take advantage of his ability to make magic happen in the open field. So I think that drafting Toney here gives you that spark to go from NFC Championship participant to Super Bowl participant. So look now, did you like the pick? Did you dislike the pick? Did you boo me? It's okay if you booed the pick. Drop a comment below because I make these videos to discuss my opinion, but I want to hear from you. I want to hear what you think. What is your opinion? Did you like the pick? And if you are a Packers fan, who do you have them taking with the 29th pick in the 2021 NFL Draft? And even if you're not a Packers fan, let me know. Now, tomorrow, I will break down the Buffalo Bills and what they're going to do with the 30th pick in the 2021 NFL Draft. So, hey, I will see you tomorrow.